Hey guys, today we're going to show you how to disassemble and reassemble a Tipx regulator. So first thing you're going to want to do is take the back off by pulling out the velocity screw all the way. Okay, so the cap comes off, spring comes out, then you're going to have this little brass that comes out as well. And that's everything in that side of the regulator. The other side of the regulator, it's the same exact size Allen's key. Comes apart, and that's everything inside. It's a little pin on the spring, and the end with a little ring on it. With the Tipx regulator, the brass part you pulled out the back, there is a little pressure relief valve inside. If this continuously leaks and you adjust it and it doesn't stop leaking, you'll have to take that Allen screw all the way out and change the O-ring on the inside. Okay, so the end little cap comes off, little screw. Spring with a little brass on the end, and that it will be your O-ring there. If your pressure relief valve keeps leaking and it doesn't stop at the back of your Tipx, that is most likely the issue. There is this O-ring. So for the pressure relief valve, you just give it you want to make sure to give it a little bit of grease and smear it around before you put it back together. Then that goes in, brass facing down, O-ring in with the spring on the outside. Then you're good to put the cap back on. Now, a thing to note about this, if you do this maintenance to the pressure relief valve, it may leak when you put it back together, so you just have to readjust the valve itself before you go out on the field to play. So there's this O-ring on the front of the brass fitting. You want to grease that as well before you put it back together. Okay. And that's ready to go back in the back of the regulator. Now you can put the spring back in, and then the cap can go back on. Again, don't turn it in all the way, just turn it in a few turns. This will mess up your velocity, so you will have to re-chrono your Tipx when you're done. Next is the front of the regulator. This is the aluminum housing in my hand. Just want to give this O-ring just a little bit of grease just to keep it from getting dried out. And then the pin and the spring goes back in the front. And that's ready to go back inside the regulator housing. Now there is a seat down in there, and you want to make sure that that pin goes down into that. Okay, now the regulator is ready to go back inside your Tipx.